Great. So, our fourth panel, we're very, very excited to hear from all of you. Will give us caregiver perspectives. And these are a wonderful group of panelists who take on a variety of roles: mother, father, foster parent, grandparent, educator, healthcare provider, and many more roles. Many of them wear multiple hats in their lives. And what's more, these individuals also work with children and family serving institutions in their communities. And we've invited this panel to speak on their personal experiences as caregivers to their children, in addition to lessons learned from their experiences working with caregivers and children in their communities. We have a large group and would love for all of you to join us here at the table. And it looks like we're figuring out which name goes with which person. We really, really very much appreciate your time in being here and are also very respectful that we're running behind time. So if anyone needs to leave before the end of this session, please let us know so that we can juggle who's going to be speaking first, as we were scheduled to be completed by 1 o'clock. So do any of you need to leave by 1 o'clock or sooner than the session may end? Okay, great. So you're all able to stay a few extra minutes. Great. And certainly welcome to join us for lunch if you have that time. So again, we really, really appreciate your being here today and your sharing your perspectives with us. This is intended to be a conversation, so please just share what you want to share from your heart, what you've prepared, and if you don't want to answer questions or don't know an answer to a question, don't worry about it. We can connect up with you later and talk in a more informal setting if that feels more comfortable for you. So many of you here to introduce. We have, and on my list here, let's see if we can. We have Abraham Gomez, Shalise Gosi, Lori Hernandez, Ana de Jesus, Yesenia Manzameda, and Maria Rogers, as well as Patricia McKenna, Reggie Van Appelen, Jennifer Ike, and Alexa Bach. And my apologies for mispronouncing most of those names. And maybe we can just go ahead in the order on the program, unless someone needs to leave or someone has another reason to. Okay, so we'll start with Abraham then. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abraham Gomez. Um, I'm a current client from the Shelter Families, the art program from Linwood, California. I'm, I'm a Mexican American, first generation migrant from Mexico. My parents both migrated from Mexico. I have I first got into problems with the law, and when I was 18, and you know, when first got picked up by the cops, the first thing that came out of their mouth was, "We gotta keep her," because they seen that I was of age, so they decided, that I was going to the big leagues, so as they say. But you know, prior to that, I have a DCFS case, open DCFS case. I have 9 months of sobriety, so you know, I'm doing all in my power to get my kids back. But I've been coming across many barriers that since there's not that many resources available to fathers, all the resources are mainly like aimed towards the women, and I have problems with housing. I'm currently homeless. I'm staying in my truck, which recently has been impounded. But yeah, yeah, it's hard trying to have been using drugs for a long period of my time, but you know I'm trying to turn things around. I'm trying to do good, but now that I'm in recovery, that I'm no longer using drugs, it's like I'm trying to do the right thing, and it's like, okay, now I'm sober. What's next? And there isn't that many resources out there for me. Like, I'm trying to get funding right now to. I'm interested in aviation, mechanical engineering, so I'm looking towards that, but I have a extensive criminal record, so I have to get that taken care of. So I'm working on that. and yeah, it's been hard, just like being away from my kids. You know, my sisters have them, thank God. But they're in different counties. One of my sisters is in Moreno Valley, the other's in Santa Clarita. So it's like an hour and a half away both ways. So I only get to see them for an hour and a half a week each week. So I think that's not nearly enough. I love my kids dearly. And I also have a domestic violence case open, which I'm doing my weeks, my 52 weeks. I'm almost done with that, and trying to get gainful employment is hard for me because of my criminal record. So yeah, you know, pretty hard. It's pretty hard, but Shields for Families, the art program, it's very good. I have a Planned Fatherhood, Reggie right here. He's one of the providers there, and it helps me get a like a feeling that I'm not alone out there, because there was like what, like 15, 20 other fellow fatherhood in there in the group, and they all have different experiences. They all have different barriers, different hurdles that they have to go through, but we all have that same thing in common, of trying to do better for ourselves, trying to turn things around and do the right thing. But it's hard. It's hard because there's not that, the resources that are available to us, we don't know of, or we're not aware of them, or we don't know how to connect, you know, to the resources that are available to us. So, it's hard for us to, get the right linkage to the resources that we need that are out there for us. And yeah, that's pretty much my situation right now with my kids. But I have court on the 9th of this month, and even though I'm in compliance with everything that they asked me to do, which was a long list, I have to do, but I'm in compliance. I'm testing 3 times a week, you know, I'm going to the program Monday through Friday. I'm going to my NA meetings. I'm going above and beyond what they asked me for. I'm doing extra stuff, and but their what is it? Their plan is to continue, continuance. They don't actually want to return my kids, and I think 6 months staying away from my kids. I have a newborn. He's now 9 months. It's like that bond between me and my kids. It's not gonna be there by the time I get him back. He's gonna. They're with my sister and my brother-in-law, but he's gonna be thinking that my brother-in-law is his dad. He's gonna be calling him dad. He's learning how to walk. He's learning how to talk over there. So he's not gonna know daddy. He's gonna be like, once I do get him back, he's gonna be like, oh my god, this is a stranger right here. So that's really hard for me. It's really hard for me. And I also have a 10-year-old and a 8-year-old, and every time I see them, when I do see them, their words are just like, you know, when do we get back to go back home, Daddy? We miss you, and I have no words. I can tell them. I can't. I have no concrete information to give them. I can't give them like a certain date because we're not allowed to talk about that. You know, which I just talk about how they're doing in school, and they're having their difficulties in school too because they're rebellious. They rebel. You know, they don't like the one that's in Santa Clarita. They have like a real uh, their standards of education over there are like much higher than because I was in Compton. I was in the city of Compton, so their standards of you know of academic standards are way higher. So and she's struggling a little bit. She's struggling a little bit, but my other one that's in Moreno Valley, she's just she's doing a lot better. But my oldest one, she's stressed out. She's 10 years old and she's already acting like a grown up. You know, she's had no childhood whatsoever. She's like bad, you know. Yeah. So thank you for inviting me here and letting me tell my story.
Thank you very much.
And if I took up too much time, sorry for that.